Hello, this is David, and welcome to Equity Story. Obviously, as we pointed out last week, the ASX 200 is obviously looking a little bit more cheerful. How long that lasts, I don't really know because I think, as I stated before, they say sell in May and go away, and I sort of looking at the sort of price chart of the Dow, and again we're really sort of on resistance here. I don't think these earning numbers are looking too cheerful at the moment in the States. I think Apple certainly might have a few issues, so I am anticipating, at least I think potentially the Dow could go back and trade back around this 17,250 level. Hopefully that won't affect us too much, and we can sort of hold some sort of basic decent trend. And like I've said many times in Equity Store, as long as we're not going down too hard or too fast, we can trade for this market, and I believe we can do very, very well. Um, just having a look at some of the stocks, obviously, so Evolution, again, we took the profits today. It's quite an easy little one to predict. Again, we brought it on that buy signal. We said we'd go out and take sort of 5-6% out of this stock. We have done that, and again, I think, to be honest, Evolution, she might just climb up a little bit more, but I'd like to buy it more on this near this moving average, and definitely going to trade it again. It's a great trading stock, Evolution, and I think over next year, if you are happy to go long on this stock, I wouldn't even mind if you didn't want to trade it, but just go long. I think Evolution is a really exciting gold story, as is Northern Star. Northern Star is one of our 3-year growth stories, and again, I think fantastic looking chart, really finding support around that 350 level, and I don't see any reason from these sort of levels she can't make her way higher. I think the general feeling about the gold story is quite positive at the moment. Apparently there are quite a few funds starting to take positions in gold, and like we said before, I think gold is a play on poor government, and hopefully over next well, not hopefully, I think unfortunately for us, what might happen is Europe could have a few issues, and I think the gold story could certainly do very well over the next 12 months. Um, just obviously going back to have a look at some other stories that we've been putting out today. Um, Another one of our stories is obviously Crusader now. Uh, we've been a bit of a pain with Crusader. We've kept going about what a great story it is around this sort of 11 to 12 cents. And again, we quite like what this happened. There's some being good price action today, and to see the stock jump over 14 cents and start looking like it's got a sort of a decent trend on is quite exciting. I'm hoping, or I presume, that having this movement and pretty good volumes, we might have some news coming out with Crusader. And again, if you look at this short-term chart, this, on the short-term daily chart, she jumped above that 200-day moving average, and that's the first time in a few years. So possibly some good news coming out of Crusader tomorrow. We'll wait and see. But again, if there is some good news, I think the stock obviously could do even better and run up even harder. Um, so I think a lot of you got into Crusader around sort of 10, 11, 12 cents. So hopefully she can have good run up and maybe even try and attack that sort of 20 cents level over the next sort of few weeks. One stock that I'd just like to talk about is CM8. Again, this is we got a 10 bagger. I mean, we put it up as a buy under, I think it was under 28 cents. I mean, it hasn't done very well recently, and it did this classic exhaustion sort of move down, which I don't think it really deserved. But if you're not into CM8, it's a fantastic story, and really bringing quite a bit of revenue. I do expect this stock is going to turn up and do very well over the next 3 or 4 months. So although it's certainly not trending, and the trend looks a little bit dire, I think definitely if you can just break over this 23 cents mark, where it's holding on the weekly and on the daily, if you can break over 23 cents, you should have a look at it, because it's a great story, and I think been pretty unfairly sold down recently in the last few weeks. that's all I've got to talk about tonight on Equity Story. Um, Sorry, just before I go, I shouldn't say that. Hub, we just put it's one of our trending stocks. They had a buy signal on the weekend. Actually, it went through very, very nicely today, and I think she's looking pretty good, and I think she might climb a little bit higher. Just say another one of our 3-year growth stories that had a little buy signal on the 2 weeks ago and didn't really do much last week, and then went for it today. It was up about 8%, which is Mobile Embrace. Again, if you're not into this story, have a look. It's a great story. I think it just doesn't move well in the marketplace. I think it's sort of a little bit hard done by from a charting point of view, but I think eventually the story will take off, and it's good to see some really good price action and the chart looking really good. And actually, even on the short-term chart, you can see that nice little breakout. So maybe she should go back up there and see what she does over the next 2 or 3 days. She might even attack that 40 cents level again. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for listening to Equity Story, and tomorrow we've got possibly a 3-year growth story coming out, and again on Thursday we've got another exciting 10-bagger. Anyway, thank you for listening to Equity Story, and I look forward to doing this report tomorrow night.